Good morning and welcome back to 501c TV. I'm your host, Janelle Harris, and this is the podcast that talks to system change leaders, thought leaders, nonprofits, and nonprofit partners to find out what is new and exciting out there in the world of nonprofits and out in our community. And this morning I have the awesome opportunity to talk with Angela Ball, CEO and founder of an amazing organization called Hearts for Moms. Good morning.
Good morning, Janelle. Thank you for having me.
I am so excited to have you on here today. We have a lot to talk about and really just awesome information, you guys. You have to check out their organization and see all the good things that are going on. So I'm excited to have you here and I appreciate you joining us.
Thank you.
So let's talk a little bit about, you are the founder.
Yes.
So let's talk about when this all happened, why it happened, how we got here today, and then we'll dive in about all of the, specific things that you guys are doing.
Absolutely.
Really
so let's just start by saying that this was not on my bucket list.
Okay. I hear that a lot actually
my
from
word.
so many nonprofit founders. They're like, yeah, I didn't think I was going to be here.
Yeah, I was one of the ones that always doubted God, and I'm like, Lord, why will you choose me? I am definitely not qualified to be doing this kind of job.
I bet you are.
Oh, but you know what? It's amazing how He equips you through it all.
Yeah.
And I was just having a conversation earlier this morning with someone, Janelle, and it's our yes is so important, and how we choose to obey and surrender to our calling, it's really what's going to be so life-changing as
Absolutely.
well. And if I would have said no and continued to be in that doubt and fear, then I would have never been able to be exposed to all of the amazing blessings that have come through the ministry, through God.
Yes.
But it's just been such an incredible, incredible time. And
I love this.
Yeah, it's incredible. And how the Lord brought me to it all is that literally when I finally gave my life to Christ, that was about 39 years old. I was a stay-at-home mom before.
Okay.
But there was that emptiness, there was that gap of surely I can be doing something else.
Sure.
And then He started bringing me single moms. Again, I have never been a single mom myself. I've been married for an amazing 29 years.
Oh, good for you.
My husband, Ray, is just incredible. And my son, Ashton, he's 20 years old.
Oh.
So I've never experienced what the lives and the challenge of a single mom was.
Right.
But then when I was exposed to it, that's when I really started realizing that, wow, I had all of the tools and my family, finances, I had everything when Ashton came to us.
Yeah.
But then truly, as organized as I was and as much as we were planning for it, soon I realized that when he came, all of that went out the window.
Yeah, you're never prepared, and every day is different, and you never know what's coming next.
Absolutely.
And how do you prepare for that?
And so I imagine what a single mom will go through, especially when she's been brave enough to say yes to life. And that was one of the main reasons why the Lord brought me to this ministry is because it was my story of abortion when I was 19 years old.
Okay, gotcha.
And from the healing that happened, that's when I realized that, wow, I wanted to be a voice and I wanted to be part of their support system, because it is so important when you become a parent. And as a parent, it's like the number one job that we are given. And it matters whatever we do, and the state of mind that we're at is going to be passed on to their children, right?
Every
and
single
to generations thereafter.
Yes.
So if we're able to get to the mom and we are able to bring the right support system, the right resources to her and to her children, then it's going to become a trickle effect, and it's going to be a generational impact.
Absolutely. And that's so important because, again, even if you have all the tools and everything that you need, it's still hard. So you can imagine, and we'll talk about, all of the varied challenges that, a single mom can face, but there's some really glaring ones that we'll talk about later. But I think that's so cool, and I love women helping women in any capacity. So I think that's really cool that you were able to step up and do this. So let's talk a little bit about how many moms are you working with? Because I think this number is really staggering.
So what is happening for us when we first started, building the ministry up, we realized that our approach had to be whole. It had to be a complete wraparound service.
Correct.
And also what I learned, so I've been serving for over 13 years,
Okay,
single
awesome.
moms. And 7 years ago was when Hearts for Moms was founded.
Okay.
But we realized that we could not have a Band-Aid approach. And but when I say that is that we need to be able to bring the right support services, housing, transportation, education, childcare, and mental health counseling, as well as skill development classes, because it is not fair to tell a single mom, that she needs to, if we're going to be able to only help her with childcare, but then she's homeless in the meantime.
Right.
Or she lacks transportation.
Correct.
So everything, that's why it had to be a complete wraparound service.
Yes.
And also, we also realized that it takes time in order for them to really be able to break cycles.
Absolutely.
And if our goal is for them to become whole, if our goal is for them to develop new habits, for them to really be able to become self-sustainable and independent of any government assistance, is going to take time.
Absolutely.
So that's why I say this, I emphasize this, because we serve right now 23 moms. And for some people, that seems like a low number.
I think it's awesome.
And the thing is that we serve the moms and the children as well. But we are ready to bring in 10 more moms because of the crisis that we're facing. So our goal is the quality of service that needs to happen in order to be truly transformational for both mom and child or children.
Well, and that's the thing. When you might think it's a low number, but I don't look at it as a low number when you talk about all of the different things that you're doing. I mean, this is like a whole holistic approach to really helping that person in every aspect. So it's easy to just say, well, I could serve 100 people if I'm just tackling hunger.
Exactly.
Or, I get that. So I think that's really cool, and I'm glad that you talked about that, because it's important to note that. So, so let's talk about the housing crisis, because it's not just here; it's everywhere. And I think it hits home so much, especially for single moms, for sure. I mean, your regular family with 2 incomes are finding it so hard to just make it, and find a place that's, not only just a place that's affordable, but a place that's safe, clean, in working order. I mean, I've seen and read a lot of horror stories about what is available out there. So let's talk a little bit about that. You can give us probably some better stats on what you're seeing and what's going on out there.
Yeah, so sadly enough, again, I've been serving for many, many years, and this last couple of years have been completely different from the norm. And what we've seen is because of the high cost of living, their rent has increased by at least over 50%.
I believe that.
What it used to be somehow a doable rent for a single mom of about $1,200, and she was still having a hard time just meeting all of her needs.
Right.
Now it's gone to over $2,000. And that's why we're seeing such a crisis right now, Janelle.
Yeah.
And it's not okay. I will tell you, I'm an immigrant myself from Colombia, South America.
Awesome.
I actually came here when I was 15 years old. And I am not okay with the way that things are being handled right now by the government. And there is law, and then there's order as well. Yeah. And what are we doing that we're not helping our own people in our own community? We see too many single moms that are literally calling us, applying. We have over 330 families on the wait list.
That breaks my heart.
I need people to understand the gravity of the situation.
Yeah.
330 families on the wait list is not okay.
And you quantify, I then go to the children in that situation.
Yes.
How many children is that?
And here's what is happening. The moms are petrified because they cannot afford the cost of their housing.
Right.
And they're petrified that if they become homeless, that their children are going to be taken away.
Absolutely.
By DCF.
It's terrifying.
And it's not because of their own...
It's
not because they're not It's not because they're not working. It's not because they're not trying.
Correct.
In fact, they're working so hard that they're still not able to make it. And that's what becomes very frustrating. I'm like, okay, we need to create solutions for our own people in our own backyards.
Right.
These are tax-paying people.
Yeah.
That they have been with us, and they've been very honorable and doing what they need to be doing.
Trying to do the right thing.
Exactly.
And just
get
by.
I want to share the story of one of the moms. Her name is Caitlin. We actually met with her about 2-3 weeks ago.
Okay.
And this mom has 3 little girls. She was actually between 4 years old and 8 months old.
Oh.
And when I heard about this story, Caitlin actually used to be one of our participants about 3-4 years ago.
Okay.
She ended up moving, and she was not ready for the program because the program definitely has expectations.
Mm-hmm.
We say that the moms have to commit, connect, and change.
Okay.
And there's accountability through the process, and we can go over that later.
Awesome.
But when I heard that Caitlin was going to be 5 days away from being homeless with her 3 little girls, it was truly heartbreaking.
Mm-hmm.
And where it brought me, Janelle, is again, the Lord uses our own testimonies, our own stories, to really even have more compassion and empathy for those in need. But it brought me back to my story of when I was 15 years old in Colombia with my 2 sisters, my mom, my father, and we were evicted from our beautiful home, reduced to a 2-bedroom with my grandmother.
Wow.
And that experience was definitely somewhat traumatizing.
I'm sure.
I'm glad that we have family to be able to at least have a bed.
Correct.
And be able to lay our heads in a pillow under a home. But the story of so many of these moms is not the case.
Right.
So the story of Caitlin, as we're going through the vetting process, we realize that I'm looking at the little girls and they're just jumping up and down the couch, watching their TV, eating their little snacks.
Yeah.
And all I could think about was, Lord, this family, if we don't do something, if we don't intervene, they're going to be leaving in their car because that's the only place that she had.
Right. And then that's a whole nother set of
and that's heartbreaking.
Safety and all kinds of other challenges.
And unfortunately, the story with Caitlin was that she was not, it was not because she was being lazy. She was actually let go of her job. And what we say often is that single moms are 1 paycheck away from being homeless.
Yeah. Which is, again, it's like terrifying.
It is.
You know, and the sad part is, you know, the kids that are involved in that, you know, they don't know. They don't understand. You know, did I do something wrong? Is that why I'm not in my house anymore? You know, that's traumatizing.
It is. And so as I'm seeing the little girls jumping up and down, I'm like, Lord, they don't even know what's coming in 5 days.
Right.
And that is the part that we are determined, Janelle, to keep families together.
Awesome.
And how we do that is by cases like Caitlin, we had to help her actually get caught up with her rent in order for her not to be able to, you know, to be evicted. Thankfully, because of the support of our donors, we are able to do that. But it doesn't stop there. We need to continue to equip and empower this family so that truly she becomes self-sufficient. And so we continue to subsidize the cost of their housing and stabilize their basic needs so that now mom is going to be able to go to work, because her one challenge was that the childcare, she didn't have childcare for 1 of her little girls. The other 2 were okay, but the one, she had gone to get daycare vouchers, and she's on a wait list. So how is the system working?
This is what I'm saying. Like,
it drives me crazy.
You take 2 steps forward and you get right there, and then it's like then another barrier instead of just making it easy. I mean, these people want to work. They want to go do the right thing. Daycare is like a whole nother
it's awful.
thing.
The cost of it.
I had 2 of them in daycare myself, and it's I was like, how do people do this? How do they do this?
They can't. They can't.
It's terrible. Yeah.
So average cost is at least $300 a week.
A week for one.
For one. Yeah. Just for one. And so this mom, of course, she ended up trying to do the right thing. She tried to get another job because, again, she was let go of her job. And as she's working at this restaurant, she's paying for her the babysitter to be able to care for her children. She realizes that once she pays the babysitter, she only had $60 left.
Right. Yeah.
$60 left. Like, how is she going to pay for her rent? How is she going to pay for food? Because the kicker is that she doesn't even qualify for food stamps.
Right. Because she makes too much.
She was making too much. Literally, they have to be homeless before they're going to be taken care of. We have moms that they have gone from $250, $300 food stamps to now $50.
This is what I don't like. I'm with you. Like, there's got to be a better solution somewhere, because it's those people right in that middle lane that they make too much,
right,
to qualify for a lot of programs, but they don't make enough to survive.
Yeah.
Like that one lane,
I don't think the government has the numbers right.
Yeah.
I don't think reality has hit for them. I'll be honest with you, because we deal with these moms day in and day out, and we see part of what we do, and part of the commitment that the moms have to have is that they have to be fully transparent with their financial statements, with their cash apps, with budgeting, with their payroll stubs. And we match them up with our financial coach.
I love that. I think that's really cool.
On a monthly basis, the moms meet with their financial coach to set goals, achieve milestones. And this is what is being so incredible, because it's one of those pieces that is so important. If they don't know how to manage their money, then they're going to continue to just be in pure survival mode. And again, they're not making enough to begin with.
Right.
So we're really trying to make sure that if we're able to get them to understand, let's cut some of the fat, right? But at the same time, if we're subsidizing, let's get that money that you're receiving from Hearts for Moms through our amazing supporters, so that we can start paying off that credit card debt, so that we can start establishing an emergency fund and eventually your savings account. And that has been the case for so many of the moms, which reminds me of this amazing mom that just was granted housing through Habitat for Humanity.
I love this. I know we were talking off camera about Habitat for Humanity, and I think this is so cool that it like rolls in together, because it's such an amazing program that they do, and
it is
that
incredible.
Gives me so much hope to know like that, you know, somebody in your program was able to now step over onto that side as well. And you know, going back to your point too about giving these moms the tools, and you know, if nobody ever sat down and told them, this is how you can do it, this is how you can you know, save and budget and do these things, nobody can tell their kids then. And so it goes back to what you're saying, like it's breaking the cycle of just from an education standpoint, so that, you know, now this mom has these tools, and now when her little girls grow up, she can help them, you know, avoid things maybe that were challenges for her.
The sad part, Janelle, is that they don't know what they don't know.
Right.
And people need to understand that, because it's so easy for people to say, well, they should just figure it out.
Right.
And it's not that easy.
No.
You know, I often say the life of a single mom is very challenging. And until you're in it and you are able to see somebody else's journey and you're walking with them through that journey, you really don't understand what it's all about.
Not at all.
So that's why it's so important that we bring all of the right people. And it's truly community that is going to be so helpful, because they don't believe themselves and what they can even do and achieve, because they haven't had that parent that has been like rah-rah for them, right? That cheerleader, that person that is constantly encouraging them.
It's so huge.
Like possibly we have, you know, ourselves in our own lives. So it's not like that for everybody.
No.
And people need to understand that.
I think that's such an amazing point to make. Let's talk about some of the programs that Hearts for Moms has, and also your donors. Like, how do the donors come to you? Do you get funds through events, or you know how all that works?
Yeah. So let's talk about the programs. So when we started the ministry, we literally started with what we now call Changing Lives program.
Okay.
And that's why we say the program is definitely a long-term commitment. And so it's up to right now about 6 years, as long as the mom continues to meet her goals, achieve her goals, whether they're personal, financial, educational, career, spiritual, if that's what she would like, or physical goals, we are going to be doing life with her.
Awesome.
Because what I love from Dr. John Maxwell, he says that the journey to success cannot be traveled alone. And that is so true for all of us.
Yes, absolutely.
So as long as they're doing what they're doing, we're there for them. We're going to be their biggest cheerleaders. And so as we started that Changing Lives program, we soon realized that because of the gravity of what is happening right now and having so many families that are desperate for help, then we had to pivot over the summer. And we're like, okay, everybody else is so taxed. A lot of nonprofit organizations are dealing with a lot.
Yeah.
But we had to come up with a solution, Janelle. We cannot continue to talk about the problem.
Right.
Like, what are we going to do?
Right. What's the actual action here?
So we got tired of talking about the problem.
Right.
We are doers.
Good.
We are changing the things that we needed to do.
Yeah.
So we simplified the program to what we call now the Giving Hope program.
Okay.
And that is going to allow us to, at least for a year term, to be able to start bringing some of those families from the wait list so that we can truly just set goals for them and just stabilize them.
Right.
Just their fundamental needs that need to be stabilized. And bring very similar resources as we do with the Changing Lives program, where the moms are going to be able to meet twice a month.
Okay.
And one of those months, they're going to be meeting with counselors, health counselors,
Awesome.
so that they're going to do group counseling.
Right.
We're going to start addressing some of those traumas and start addressing some of that healing, because without the mental health piece, we have nothing.
Yeah, and I think that's really important too, because, you know, if you're bringing a group of people together, people don't feel so alone.
Right,
They
exactly.
say, oh my gosh, there's other moms just like me out
Yeah.
there that are facing the same challenges,
Yeah.
and you know, you feel like we can do this together type
The
thing,
power of community
which is so
mighty.
cool. Yeah,
Absolutely.
I love that.
Absolutely. So we created the Giving Hope program, which has launched now in March.
Okay, awesome.
Which we're excited. So at least we were able to bring 10 families.
Yeah.
Because truly, financial resources is what we need the most.
Absolutely.
So that we can go ahead and hopefully get most of the families on the wait list right now. And I will tell you that every single mom that applies is most probably not going to be a someone that is going to qualify to the program.
Right.
Because we're not a handout.
Absolutely.
We are a hand up.
Yeah.
And there is so much accountability that happens. There are expectations that need to be met. That again, that's why it's not going to be for everyone.
Yep.
But it's going to be for most of those moms in our wait list. So as we created the Giving Hope program, now when they graduate after that 1 year term successfully, now they can apply to the Changing Lives program.
That's really
which
cool.
is going to be, anywhere between 5 to 6 years. And here's where real change happens. Because what we're telling the moms is that education is pivotal in order for them to be able to really get to the point of sustainability. One of the statistics is back in an MSNBC report, and this was back in 2019. So this number is at least 20% higher.
Okay.
But a single mom with one child, she needed to at least make $52,000 to meet her basic needs.
That's unbelievable.
Like they're nowhere near that. So it's
No.
going to be way higher now, at least $60,000.
I would say it's probably close to 60.
Absolutely.
It would have to be.
If it's 2 children, $60,000. If it's 3 children, $75,000.
Easily.
Our mamas are nowhere near there.
No.
And
That is unbelievable.
that's why we tell them that part of their expectation has to be getting onto the path of education.
Yes.
And whether that is college, vocational training, or certification, it's got to be something. And that's where we see real change happen.
I love that.
And so we are actually just created an entrepreneurship program as well.
Oh my gosh.
Because we want to get them onto that fast track. But
Yeah.
let's expose them to the possibilities of creating multiple streams of income.
Right.
Yes, they may not be business owners, all of them, but
Yeah.
we have identified some moms that truly are able and are going to be capable of creating another small business, and eventually it can grow to their own
Absolutely.
big business.
And again, sometimes they just need somebody to like cheerlead them and be like,
Yes.
you can do this. No, probably
Yes.
no one's ever told you you can do this,
Right.
but you can do this. Here's how you can do it. And I think that's so huge. It's like having a best friend in your corner, like
Absolutely.
cheering you on, and giving the confidence that you need. Because,
Yeah.
I think that's also a part of it. There's a lot of like self-limiting beliefs about what you can and can't do. And fear, a lot of fear.
Oh my goodness, the fear that they have. I mean, from the day one when they step into the program, we see, because again, they're like, I just don't know how to do this.
Right.
And so the story of one of the moms, Janelle, that she's soon going to be graduating from the program, amongst others, when she first came to the program, she still is a certified nurse assistant.
Okay.
She was making $12 an hour, now making about $18 an hour.
Awesome.
But when we asked her, we're like, what is your dream? What is your dream? And she said, Miss Angela, I want to become a registered nurse.
Aw.
But it's no way that I can do it because I work almost 2 full-time jobs.
Right.
To be able to provide housing, food, and everything for my son. And we said, so this is our secret sauce. We tell the moms that if they start at least with one class, we are stabilizing through the subsidy, housing and basic needs. They can take away some of those hours from her job, put it into her education. It's so simple.
And it isn't it. It just gives them that, like, you know,
oh my word,
little bit of like breathing room to just.
Well, absolutely. And all of a sudden, when Lovely took her one class because she was scared to death to take that one class, but when she did it, she aced it, and she's like, "Oh my gosh, I can do this." Her shoulders were a little bit more up. She ended up taking 3 classes, aced them. 5 classes, I called her crazy. I said, girlfriend, I want to make sure you're going to succeed. I can do it, Miss Angela. I can do it. I'm like, all right, you're going to show me.
And sure enough.
She graduated with her associate's degree back when COVID hit.
Oh my
and she can only invite 2 people. And I was amongst.
Come on. Oh, that's so rewarding.
It was such an honor.
Yes.
Okay, I don't want to cry.
I know. I'm already like, this happens, Matt, you know. But that's like, because it's like one of your kids, you know, or you're like your sister or your, you know.
Like a daughter. I mean, seriously.
Totally.
It's incredible.
That's awesome.
And so here, I'm seeing her walk, getting her diploma, but the job was not done then.
Right.
She still had her registered nurse degree. That's her dream.
Absolutely.
And she will graduate.
Good for her.
Come May.
That's awesome.
And she will go from making her $18 an hour to at least $45 an hour, if not more, to $90,000 a year.
Isn't that unbelievable?
Now that's when we can say, you can fly.
Yeah.
And that is our measuring stick. But by that time, she has received housing subsidy. She received almost a brand new car because her car was totaled. And we had an amazing family donor that said, I want to give to them as I give to my own children.
I'm like, oh, I'm like getting all the.
I'm telling you, like, why wouldn't you do ministry? Like the
so
blessings that come, and when you see God's hand all over and the miracles, it is just incredible.
That is
like,
awesome.
You don't want to not do it. I say to the Lord, I'm like, I want to do this up to my very last breath.
Absolutely.
Because we see the impact that is happening on these families.
Yeah.
And so she will graduate, and that will be awesome. But then when they graduate, Janelle, of course, because we don't have enough to do, we notice that there is a gap.
Yeah.
And the gap was that when moms were graduating, all of a sudden they come from this community of amazing support to nothing again.
Yeah, back to being alone.
And we're like, whoa, this got to change.
Yeah.
So come June, we're kicking off our 360 Leader Moms.
So now she can come back and be a part of the program.
Now when they graduate, the HFM alumni are going to be able to be part of this group. But now it's going to be, we have a volunteer that is going to be leading it, and she's a John Maxwell certified coach.
I love that.
It's all about leadership principles. We're going to bring some of that entrepreneurship program as well and continue to expose them to it. Yeah. And then it's going to be an opportunity that they're going to be able to give back because they want to become mentors themselves.
Totally.
By this time, they know the whole program. They will be the best, most qualified mentors we could ever have.
Yeah, and then again, somebody coming into the program is looking at her going, she did it. Like, I can do this too.
Yes, the power of testimony.
Yes, there's like
no better.
I've
been in your shoes.
Absolutely.
It's incredible.
I love that.
So that's our programs.
I love it. That's wonderful. I know. We're running out of time. I got it, Matt.
Sorry.
All good. Good. I think it's amazing. It really is that true full circle approach, which is important.
It was a full circle strategy.
Yeah, which I love. So tell me a little bit before we have to go. Let's talk the fun stuff about like events.
Yes.
What type of events do you guys have coming up, and how can people like me support you in those?
Absolutely. Thank you for that. So we are having our gala, which is going to happen on November 8th.
Okay, good.
So definitely put it on your schedule.
I will.
On your calendar. And we're going to have a kickoff party, which we think is going to be May 1st. Okay. Actually, today we're going to be finalizing that.
Awesome. Okay. Well, stay tuned and check out on their website.
Yes, Palm Beach Aesthetics. That's where we're hoping to have it, and it's going to be incredible.
So cool.
But we also have great opportunities to be able to have listeners or supporters to become Giving Hope hosts.
Okay.
And what that means is that we are, if we're able to have a mini event at their home so that they can invite their closest friends, then we're going to be able to spread the word and also bring a mom, share her testimony. It's going to be a time of connection and a time to hear about a great cause, an opportunity for them to also become involved, whether it is volunteering or giving. Cool. There's plenty of volunteer or giving opportunities, but also becoming a monthly giver. Listen, nonprofit organizations, they will not be sustainable if it's not because of the monthly giving.
Absolutely.
So we are about to kick off our Giving Hope 70 campaign, which is all about giving $70, if not more. If you can't, then less, that's great. Yeah. But the power of multiplication is incredible.
It's $1 a day.
Ish. Well, yeah. And if I could quickly say, we're going to have an amazing surprise coming up because of $1, people giving just $1, how it truly impacts a family. And this is for a family that a mom that became a quadriplegic 3 years ago, Janelle.
Oh my goodness.
And she's going to be gifted something amazing that is going to bring her so much freedom. Okay. But she's been asking for a handicap van.
Yeah. And life-changing.
And if we had more time, we would talk more about that. But that's part of, we can all do something. Yeah. And it's going to be truly impactful to their lives.
I love it. I can tell, if you can't see Angela's passion about everything that Hearts for Moms is doing, I don't know who else you possibly could have to meet. But
glory to God.
Thank you so much for joining us here today. Follow them online, you guys. Yes. And if you can find it in your heart to help support this amazing mission, it really is. There's a lot of challenges, and these are all moms in our community. I mean, this is right in our backyard here. And are you pulling, is this just Palm Beach County? I didn't ask that earlier.
So right now, we are in 2 locations. Okay. We are in, through the collaboration with Christ Fellowship, we actually have our classes in Palm Beach Gardens, and also the collaboration through Place of Hope. We have it in Boca Raton.
Oh, awesome. So we love Place for Hope.
The vision is to expand, and we know that the Lord is doing something amazing there.
I love it. So again, you guys, this is happening right in our backyard, sadly, but we can all pitch in and help out. So I really appreciate you taking the time to come here and tell us about all the amazing things that you're doing. I love it, and I want to hear more about it. So thank you guys again for joining. Please follow along. Again, this is Angela Ball with Hearts for Moms. So follow her online, and we will see you next time here on 501c TV. And a special thank you again to Kana House Studios, Wellington's first and only content creation studio. And we will see you next time on the next episode. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.